show you what it was. Wunderland by Cody Epstein. I fully admit I read this book a while ago, and it took me a long time to finish. Now, it's not because it was a bad book, not at all. And it's not because I didn't have time to make this book review, because I could have found the time. But this book was so challenging to read because of the topic, because of what was happening, and I procrastinated making this book review because I just didn't know what to say. This story takes place in the East Village in 1989, as well as in Berlin in 1933, just as the Nazi Party is growing and becoming dominant. It's about two friends, Isle and Renate. I'm so sorry if I'm saying those names wrong, but they are best friends, almost as if they are one person. And one of them finds out she is part Jewish, and the other girl is a part of the Hitler Youth movement and has become extremely dedicated to the cause. You can see where this is going. The Nuremberg laws begin to change everyone's life, and these two friends become torn apart because of beliefs, because of laws. Everything in their lives are destroyed. Isle goes on to have a daughter named Ava, and she moves to America in the 80s. And she is extremely estranged from her mother because during the war, she lived in an orphanage and she didn't know where her mother was. She doesn't know who her father is. And this story is just as much as her journey as it is about the two friends. What sets the ball rolling, what makes this story happen, is that Ava receives letters that her mother wrote before she passed to Renate. And through these letters, Ava's world opens up and learns more about her mother, learns more about who she is. And as she's discovering these things is when we go back to 1933 and on. We're learning about these three women through decades and how intertwined they are and how absolutely awful this time was. This story is violent. This story has a lot of trigger warnings. It's very difficult to read, and I have spent my childhood, teenhood, young adulthood reading books that take place during this time. And at this point in my life of adulthood, this book just struck different. There were days where I could only read a page or two, and while I have a personal goal of reading something every day, there were some days I couldn't pick this up because you can both see what's going to happen. You're also taken aback by what is happening, and sometimes it's just hard to read, but you have to read this. You can't ignore the past, and it's scary. After a while, I even stopped tagging quotes because it was just too much to ponder what they mean. This book is full of heartbreak, and I think you are meant to close this book feeling empty, feeling sadness, feeling desperate, feeling scared, because you don't want something like this to happen again. You don't want lives to be ruined in this way again. This is a hard book to read. This is not a beach read. This is not a book you take on your cruise, on your vacation. This is a book you read when you are ready to take on some burdens. Up next, a couple quotes. And until next time, happy reading.